plant-based realist, and today we're going to be talking about my plant-based essentials. The top 10 things that I always like to have stocked up in my kitchen that I use for most of my meals, and things that I always want to go grocery shopping for, what I feel like are the core products or items in my plant-based diet. Before we begin, I want to really touch on the fact that I know when you're first starting plant-based eating, or even just including more whole foods into your diet, it can be intimidating. It can be scary because it's a lifestyle change. You might not know what to shop for, how to include those items. I remember when I first started feeling really lost because I didn't even know the correct terms to search for to research this sort of information. So I'm trying to come at you to help close that gap in information. I'm by no means am like a super healthy guru. I don't know all of the information. I'm just starting out too, so I just want to share what works for me at this point in my health journey. And it is a spectrum. You will learn more and more every day, just like I do, and yeah. So before I continue ranting on, let's get started on my top 10 plant-based essentials. So number one is definitely going to be vegetables. And I know that's kind of a broad topic, so I want to kind of break that down for you. One thing that I always like to include are some sort of leafy, like dark leafy green. So my two favorites are spinach and kale. I like to alternate between those two, just however I'm feeling that week when I go grocery shopping, what I think I'll use more, what looks fresher, and it's always good to switch that sort of food up just so you get the different nutrients from different products. And then I always like to have zucchini, tomatoes, mushrooms. There's all sorts of veggies that I know I love, but you pick and choose based on your taste. What are vegetables you like consuming? Start with those and maybe start adding in some new ones that you haven't tried before. Just start building your vegetable collection. Number two is going to be fresh fruit. This one's pretty important, especially for me. I love having fresh fruit in the morning, and I also like including it as snacks and desserts. I just really love fruit. It's kind of like nature's candy. Super delicious, very nutritious, and great for a plant-based diet. I normally like to go for different types of berries. I always have a couple bunches of bananas. I love getting those mandarin oranges when they're in season. And once again, this is based on your taste, whatever kind of fruit you like having. Pick that up. Number three is going to be whole grains. These were kind of difficult for me to understand in the beginning. I was making a lot of meals that were solely made out of like vegetables and fruits, maybe some beans, and I wasn't really feeling satiated. I wasn't full after consuming my meals. So whole grains are a great way to bulk up your meals, get those carbs in. My favorites right now are like quinoa and whole grain pasta. I am Italian. I grew up eating multiple pasta meals a week, and it's just something that I enjoy having. So I found some great like whole grain pastas. I also buy whole grain bread. I love Dave's Killer Bread. If you see their products around, go ahead and give them a try. It's a great hearty bread. They make awesome bagels. I just love them. Kudos to whoever started Dave's Killer Bread. You have made my meals so much tastier. Oatmeal. I have oatmeal almost every single morning. I love oatmeal. I like also putting some oats in my smoothies, in my soups. Oats are just great. I also make oat flour out of them. My two favorites are like instant oats and rolled oats, just because I make my oatmeal every morning in the microwave. I put a little bit of instant oats, a little bit of rolled oats, and just do 1 part oats to 2 parts water. Put them in the microwave for 2 minutes. And then just top that with all the goodies that I switch up every single. Number 5 is some sort of natural nut butter. Now I have a tree nut allergy, so I'm kind of limited on this. I'm sure almond butter and cashew butter are delicious, but I normally go towards natural peanut butter because that's the only nut I can consume, and that's because it's a legume. But yeah, so I have natural peanut butter almost every day. The way you can check to make sure it's natural is turn it around, look at the ingredients. There should only be 1 ingredient on that list, and it's whatever nut that nut butter is made out of. It should also say that it should be refrigerated, and that's how you know you have yourself a good natural nut butter. Of course there's exceptions, but that's like a good general rule. Number 6 is some sort of non-dairy milk. So like I said before, allergic to tree nuts. So my main go-to is coconut milk. I also will sometimes sub out some soy milk, just occasionally if I'm looking for a different taste than coconut milk. But coconut milk's great to add to all sorts of bakery. It has like a very nice flavor. My family also really enjoys consuming like almond and cashew milk. We've also tried some oat milk, which is also super delicious. It's a little harder to find, I've found. I know people also like rice milk. I'm just not super into rice milk, but if that's what works for you, that's great. One thing about non-dairy milk is when you go to the store, it is going to be a little more expensive than your traditional traditional dairy milks, but you're going to be using it less. It's better for you from my standpoint, and it lasts a lot longer. You can keep that in your fridge for weeks, where traditional dairy milk only lasts a little while. So that's kind of the trade-off you get there. Number 7 is I love to have sauces around. My favorite and my go-to is a great like natural tomato or marinara sauce. These can be a little tricky to find. You would think that most marinara sauce is just like tomatoes and spices, maybe some veggies, and that you wouldn't have to worry about it being plant-based or not. But a lot of them do contain milk, and even if they don't contain milk, a lot of them have like weird preservatives and that sort of thing in there. So just go ahead and give your sauce a little turnaround, check out the ingredients, make sure you like all the stuff that's in there, and yeah, it's a great base to any meal. It adds a lot of flavor. I use it for so much more than just pasta. I just love having tomato sauce around. My other favorites are like tahini, and then hummus is a great thing to throw onto any meal. You can like mix that around. Avocados can make a great sauce. And what else? Lemon juice even is a great dressing. So some sort of sauce to add flavors to your meal, always great to have around, especially when you're doing like a grain bowl or that sort of thing. Number 8 are spices. So spices have become really important in my daily cooking. I love learning how to like create flavors through spice. I cooked a lot of bland meals before I became plant-based. I never really had a great understanding of how to use things besides like salt and pepper, and even those I was very light on. So my top favorite spices are salt and pepper, obviously, the basics, the OGs. I also like garlic and onion powder. I use those very regularly. I have started using turmeric and, oh, of course, nutritional yeast. That is great to add any sort of like cheesy, nutty flavor to dishes. Oh, cinnamon. Cinnamon is like my savior. I love cinnamon. Put that in all of my bakery, and cardamom and that sort of spicy flavor. I also use Italian blend all the time. So that's like basil, oregano, parsley, like those sort of flavors. I love that stuff. So those are my top spices. I have all sorts of kinds. Spices can be really expensive, so just go ahead and start with the flavors that you know you'll like and then experiment from there. Number 9 is beans. So beans aren't something that I use every single day, but I love having them in my kitchen to bulk up meals. And probably the most important to me, one that I did not include before becoming plant-based, that I use in almost every single meal now, are seeds. Especially for me, someone with a tree nut allergy, seeds are just so important. I love chia seeds and hemp seeds, flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. They're just great little like nutrient powerhouses. They really pack a great punch, add flavor to your meals, and add like a heartiness, and they're just really delicious. I don't know why I didn't use them before. They can also be found for pretty cheap. I get my chia seeds at Aldi. I also seen them at my grocery stores, like local grocery stores, for pretty cheap, like $3 for like a good amount of them that will last you a few months. They're just really delicious. They add a nice little crunch and texture to your meal. So if you don't do that now, that is a huge tip that I have learned since becoming plant-based, is adding seeds to my meals. Alright guys, so those are my top 10 plant-based essentials. I hope you learned something from this video. I've been posting a lot on my Instagram at Mandy_Meeks, M-E-E-K-S. It's just my name. I post really heavily on my Instagram story, and I've been getting a lot of feedback through that, asking like about my plant-based essentials, meal ideas, recipes. So I'm trying to share those with you guys now. If you want to follow me on there, I post daily what I'm eating every day and like what I'm up to. So you can go ahead and follow my story. That's where I post mostly on. Yeah, guys, I've just really enjoyed connecting with you since I've begun sharing more. And if you want to leave me a comment, that would be great. Like I said, I love connecting with you. If you want to message me on Instagram, go ahead and do that as well. I hope this video helped you, and I hope we can connect soon. Alright guys, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.